Look, Greg, I can tell you right now, I've worked in shops myself where they give me a print, and that print is 1/100th on the final part, and they'll go, "What's this for?" I go, "I don't know. It's a small component. I know we're making it. I know it goes into aerospace, but I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it." Yep. Welcome back to MTDCNC, my friends. We are in perfect Michigan weather. It is sleeting all over us right now, and I am having a blast, even though this is not like Florida weather. As you can see, we're at NTL Industries today, a company that started in 2017 in a garage, now in over 6,000 square feet. And I want to invite you inside before I freeze to death to take a look at the machining processes that are going on in here, DN Solutions, Haas, Mazak, and so much more. So come on in. Greg, my friend, it is so good to be here. We've been talking for years at this point, and I've wanted to showcase your facility for a long time because the audience here loves American manufacturing, and you are a wonderful manufacturing story. Started in 2017 in your garage, so I want to share with the audience because there's a lot of folks out there right now considering starting a career in manufacturing or even their own machine shop. Let's talk about 2017 and the bravery and courage of what brought about NTL Industries.
Okay, so first off, it was the wife and I were sitting there at dinner. We were kind of contemplating, what we were going to do. We were both working full-time jobs at the time, and I decided I was going to be like, all right, well, let's try to do a business that we used to do, in the past. So we were kind of weighing options and different names and stuff like that, and we came up with a name. It was supposed to be N2L. With the number 2, and I was like, I don't like the 2. So now it's NTL, and what that stands for is nothing to lose.
Ooh.
So put it in the perspective of nothing to lose, right? So you have everything on the table. So you walk out day in and day out, and you're trying to do something for someone else, and it's like, okay, well, let's try it for ourselves. So I put a bid on a machine on eBay. This is the first machine. So I bid a super low bid on the machine, and I was like, all right, well, I wonder what's going to happen, right? So walking through the place of employment where I was at, and I get this message on my phone saying, congratulations, you just won yourself a machine. And I was like, it just got real. That just happened. So from there, it happened in my garage, and I was working two jobs. I was working till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and then at night I was doing sales. 4 to 6 at night, I was hanging out with the kids, wife, family, doing family stuff from 6, 8 o'clock at night till 3 o'clock in the morning. I was doing work.
That's incredible.
That's the only way to get it done.
Wow. See, I knew you guys were going to like this story. Now let's start walking a little bit, Greg, as we continue to discuss, because you've already brought up, I bought a machine on eBay, and that machine we're getting ready to walk toward right now. Okay, so you've now started this company. What gave you the courage? Had you always been a machinist? Has your family been in machining? What was that like when you were first starting?
So when I first started, I worked for my father's business, and he had a business back in the early 2000s called Prime Tech Incorporated. And that's where I learned a lot of my cup of tea or all my, main goals with how to run a machine shop or how to do machine work. I learned how to run a lathe. I learned how to run a Bridgeport. I learned how to use a CNC machine back then. And then in 2008 hit, what happened then, the catastrophe and the collapse of the markets and everything like that. And that took a big toll on the family business. So at that time we had a closed business. So in 2012, we kind of got our feet going again, and I worked at a different location and gained a little bit more experience, in different realm of the machining aspect. So I was able to kind of work my ranks through another business. So I was able to work as a CNC operator, and then I worked in estimating, and then I worked down all the way back up into a manufacturing engineer. So that's kind of where I got my drive behind the whole CNC machining business part. And then in 2016, later parts, and then 2017 is January 26, 2017 is when we actually got our papers of incorporation. So that was
that's a big day.
It's a big step. You look at the piece of paper and you're like, okay, well, that's cool. we got that. Now we need a machine. So then that's when we bid on that machine. And that machine is actually back there in that corner.
So
Way
back
there
in the
that
corner. I'm not sure if our camera guy can see it or not, but way back in that corner is one you bid on eBay. Now, that didn't stop your eBay bidding, if I'm not mistaken, because the Mazak that's right
That
here
Mazak there?
and the Mazak here are both also purchased from eBay's been a good friend to you.
Very good friend.
Now, we're going to get into more detail on these Mazak machines, don't get me wrong, because I do want to discuss buying from eBay versus buying from a dealer. And I love working with the dealers, don't get me wrong, but if we're starting a machine shop and it's reliable machines once you get it. So we'll go into details in another video for you guys on that one. I also see a beautiful DN Solutions machine here, some horizontal machining. We're going to go into details on that. So as we continue to walk through this machine shop, let's talk about what you manufacture here. What type of parts do you manufacture? Are you kind of in the house of making parts for only one piece of our industry, or are you kind of spread out all over the place?
We are diverse enough to be in 4 different industries. In agriculture, we're in hydraulic manufacturing, we are in aerospace, defense, automation, automotive. So that's kind of where, and agriculture. So we kind of diverse enough in many different fields. So that way if one takes a dip, we can kind of step it up in another industry. Plus we also just started a motorsports line of product and or product development and product making, as you want to say. So yeah, we got a lot of eggs in the baskets and touching everywhere, but not over zealous in one area. So that way if something happens, we can kind of crutch it out and keep moving. So
I want to bring up 2 things about what you just said, and one is agriculture, because I don't think we talk enough about agriculture with our audience, and the other is getting into the sports side of things, because I know you just went snowmobiling with your son over the weekend, so this is probably a piece of your passion as well.
Yep.
Which for people who are watching this that maybe aren't already in manufacturing, because we get those from time to time. We get the inspiration from time to time where they go, wait, you mean I can just make things that I like? I can make my own shoe line or my own watches? Well, you get to do that with the motorsports side of things,
Yes.
right? The sports side of things. So those are the 2 topics I'd like to describe. Let's start first with agricultural. What do you do in the world of agricultural? And can we talk a little bit more to our audience about that side of things?
well, we help out in the agricultural industry with I guess it's making certain consumable products in the agricultural and how you plant things. I'm not too sure of what actually it does, but I know that that's kind of the main cup of tea. So it works with planting.
Look, Greg, I can tell you right now, I've worked in shops myself where they give me a print, and that print is 1/100th on the final part, and they'll go, what's this for? I go, I don't know. It's a small component. I know we're making it. I know it goes into aerospace, but I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
Yep, exactly.
So that happens so many times in our industry. Now, with that being said, now let's get into the motorsports side of things. This is a new venture for you.
Yes.
Is it because you have passion about it? You're like, let's just make some things.
Yep. So right now we actually started NTLMotorsports.com, and you can actually, we're a distributor for, I think it's over 300 different companies right now. And then we're going to start incorporating our own line of products in those industries as well. We're going to mainly go after like Jeeps and side-by-sides and everything in that type of realm of products. So it's a learning curve, but you got to do a lot of testing on it before you can actually offer it to the public. So that way you can break it. Now you can find it, you can fix that solution, and then you keep moving. So it's kind of where we're at right now. So
I like it. All right, so we're going to start walking forward a little bit. I see another brand new DN Solutions here. I see a Haas to this side.
Yep.
I know you invested in new equipment in your CMM room. The opportunity I want to take for the audience watching right now is, where are you looking to go with the company as far as growth, progression, bringing in new work? What would you like to say to the people watching right now that are struggling with their lead times with who they're currently working with, or precision? I was just at a company, they said, we just received 1,000 parts and none of them were good, and we had to ship them all back, and we have to find a new, we have to find a new partner. So this type of stuff happens all the time.
Right.
Are there any messages for the audience right now who might be looking for a quality partner, and you're here in Michigan, we see the American flag right there, you're a quality quality company that's invested in quality machines. Anything you'd like to share with them about NTL Industries?
So the main thing for us is quality speaks volume about customer satisfaction. So if you don't have good quality, then you don't have the repeat customers that you need to grow. So you can only grow as much as you can support another company. So without the support that we give to our other customers, then we're pretty much sitting dead or sitting with our feet tied still, So, we try to aim for 100% quality. We are humans. We do make mistakes. If you say you're perfect, that's BS right off the rip, because no one's ever perfect. So, you do have to, but you have to make sure that whatever happens, you take care of it in a swift fashion, so that way, it doesn't produce problems down the line. So, like on our production lines, I think we've shipped over 500,000 products and haven't had one come back saying it's bad.
Did you guys hear that? Over 500,000 products, and none of them have come back bad. That is a quality and reliable partner that you guys can have. Now, we're going to utilize some of our extra footage to showcase the CMM room, the inside of the machines, everything that's going on. And I know you've said it once, but I'd like to repeat it as we close this whole conversation out. Where can we find you? And I know I made the joke already, Social Security number, credit cards. These are the things I need, but the audience, I think all they need is the website or anywhere if they can find you.
You can find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. NTL Industries.com is another one. And NTL Motorsports is our new line of products that are coming out probably the second half of the second quarter. So look forward to seeing some more stuff on that and more videos and technical advice on how to build a car or how to further your fun time with the family. There you go. So, but no, NTL Industries, you can find us, or LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the .coms that you got to get. So
this is American manufactured, and my favorite part of this entire thing that I want you all to remember as well, nothing to lose. That's right, NTLindustries.com. This is my buddy Greg. This is Michigan manufacturing, U.S. manufacturing. This is reshoring. This is how we get it done. Give my buddy a call anytime. Thank you all for watching MTDCNC.
Thank you very much.